Did you really believe Harlem's most chaotic couple could pull off faking a pregnancy just to stay rich and relevant? Turn off your phone and sit down, because what I am about to reveal is wild, messy, and exactly what you would expect from this scandal-loving duo. Even Twitter's most dramatic users could not make this mess sound good. Imagine waking up to leaked video of Chrissy, the same woman who calls herself a ride or die, quietly whispering "sweet baby" into a burner phone. All while Cam'ron, dressed head to toe in pink fur, stands in the background pulling every string like some low-budget soap opera director. Fake crying? Check. Phony doctor's letters? Definitely. Sneaky cash handoffs behind sketchy motel doors? Yep, and a baby that never even existed. Sadly, yes. Now think, how far did this lie go? How many brand deals, show reunions, and fake charity donations did they collect while the whole world cheered for a pregnancy that was nothing but smoke and mirrors? And the worst part, the proof is leaking out slowly, piece by piece. By the time everything comes to light, trust me, you will never be able to see this twisted pair the same way again. You will never look at that baby bump the same way again. Buckle up, this deep dive might break the internet not once, but twice before lunch. It is time to peel back the messy layers of this circus act. Because Harlem's so-called power couple did not just slip up by accident. No, this outrageous scheme was years in the making, carefully hidden behind reality TV drama, fake proposals, and Instagram posts so phony they could fool even the sharpest skeptic. Let us rewind to their so-called golden age. Chrissy Lamon had already given herself the title of Harlem's First Lady, while Cam'ron walked the streets like a flashy legend wrapped in pink fur. Back then, Jim Jones, bless his loyal heart, still believed Dipset's brotherhood was unbreakable, but behind all the old-school pride, there were secret deals, shady money swaps, and yes, a fake pregnancy storyline, wild enough to make even Mona Scott Young wonder if it had gone too far for television. Many say the downward spiral began in 2017 when VH1 reunion specials started tanking in the ratings. Chrissy realized her dramatic crying scenes no longer had the same pull, and Cam's solo career was fading into a cloud of 2005 throwback energy and poorly attended tour gigs. So, what do two hustlers do when their fame starts to fade? Easy, they build a new mess. That is when the fake baby plan began to take shape. And according to those in the know, including Chrissy's old nail tech who could not keep a secret, it all started during a shady brunch at Harlem Tavern. Chrissy leaned over her drink, tapped Cam's flashy watch, and whispered, "What if the world believes I am pregnant again?" Cam did not even blink. He reached for his second phone, not the one everyone sees, the burner, and said, "If you sell it right, we all eat good." From that moment, the fake baby lie was no longer a thought, it became the plot. What began as a wild idea soon became a full-blown baby scam. Chrissy started reconnecting with old brand sponsors on Instagram, while Cam suddenly got friendly with TV producers who once swore they would never work with him again, not after his backstage meltdown in 2011. And Jim, poor, loyal Jim. He was still falling for every sweet "I love you" daddy text Chrissy sent at 2 a.m., not knowing she was busy wiring hush money to cover fake ultrasound receipts. By spring 2022, things really started heating up. Chrissy's selfies began showing a mysterious bump. Her fans were convinced she was glowing, but in Harlem's barbershops, people were saying, "She glowing all right, but that belly looks more like a pillow than a baby." Cam, always the showman, used every second of this fake storyline for clout. He dropped rap teasers hinting at new life, posted cryptic baby emoji stories on Instagram, and even threw shade at Jim with lines like, "A real man owns his mistakes and feeds his seeds." It worked. Sponsors came running, baby brands, mommy blogs, and maternity photographers all wanted a piece. One insider spilled that a major vitamin company offered Chrissy a 5-figure deal to document her pregnancy wellness journey on YouTube. But here is the dirty truth: nothing was growing except her bank account, and it gets worse. They did not stop at just pretending. They went all in to make it look real. Cam reportedly hired a traveling OBGYN from New Jersey, someone who allegedly lost her medical license back in 2018 for faking paperwork. This sketchy doctor created bogus blood tests, fake ultrasound images, and made up appointment records all on a burner laptop. The files were saved to a locked USB and handed over to Chrissy just in case any nosy publicist started asking too many questions. These two weren't just lying, they were building a fortress of fraud. While Jim was proudly snapping blurry mirror selfies beside Chrissy's fake baby bump, Cam was just a couple of blocks away, lounging in a hookah spot, laughing with his crew. He knew Harlem would believe anything, as long as it came wrapped in reality TV tears. Harsh, yes, shocking, not really, and honestly, this entire mess might have stayed buried if not for one crucial mistake that even Cam's paranoia could not cover. It came down to a hotel housekeeper, the very one cleaning that infamous Midtown suite. She discovered something odd in the trash: a deflated pregnancy belly band, tossed alongside 3 unopened bottles of prenatal vitamins. Suspicious, she snapped a photo and sent it straight to a Harlem gossip blogger desperate for a headline. Within hours, the internet blew up. The hashtag Chrissy fake bump was everywhere. Cam's phone exploded not with praise, but with threats. Dipset fans were furious, accusing him of betraying his brother just to chase clout and cash. Chrissy's lawyer disappeared. Even Mona Scott-Young, the queen of spinning chaos into ratings, ignored her calls. And the worst was yet to come. The hotel leak was just the beginning. Then came the storm. No one saw coming the real fallout. An anonymous whistleblower, said to be a disgruntled intern from Cam's failed podcast venture, cracked the internet wide open. They uploaded a digital treasure trove onto a sketchy file-sharing site. Screenshots of wire transfers, forged prenatal documents, shady hotel bookings paid through companies with names like Mommy Empire Consulting LLC. The moment those files hit the web, fans pounced. They did not just read, they analyzed, mocked, and posted memes faster than Cam could even deny. Social media lit up like wildfire. TikTok detectives got to work, stitching together timelines and receipts. They dissected every Instagram post, matching Chrissy's supposed due dates with photos from clubs, lounges, and flashy events. How you got a baby bump at brunch, one viral video asked, but abs in the VIP section by midnight. The contradictions piled up, and so did the rage. Twitter turned into a courtroom. Spaces stayed live for hours, with people shouting theories, arguments, and shock. One side screamed, "How did Jim miss the signs?" Another side, colder and more cynical, replied, "Cam's been a snake since day one. This was always in his blood." Fans who once screamed Dipset forever were now unfollowing, untagging, and scrubbing their pages clean of every lyric and photo that reminded them of this betrayal. But if you thought the scandal peaked here, you were mistaken. This was no ending. It was only the beginning of Harlem's ugliest unraveling. A few days after the leaks dropped, new footage surfaced: private security camera clips, allegedly showing Chrissy sneaking out of a luxury hotel with no visible baby bump, holding nothing but her purse and an envelope. Rumor had it the envelope contained part of a hush payout. It was fuel to the fire. Then came voice notes uploaded anonymously again. In one, a voice that sounded suspiciously like Cam's joked, "Let her keep crying. Tears sell the story." Another leaked message implied a staged miscarriage arc was being planned for a future reality TV spin-off. It was sickening. People were no longer debating, they were disgusted. Meanwhile, brands panicked. A high-profile vitamin company that had worked with Chrissy on a wellness campaign immediately released a statement denying all involvement. They announced a terminated partnership and even offered refunds to customers who had purchased products tied to the scandal. A maternity fashion brand that had featured Chrissy in a photoshoot issued a public apology and threatened legal action for being misled into promoting a fraudulent narrative. The scandal reached such heights that even national media outlets picked it up. What started as internet drama was now news. Commentators debated the morality of monetizing fake pregnancies, especially when used to manipulate fans and sponsors for personal gain. One talk show host said bluntly, "This isn't a PR slip-up, this is emotional fraud." Through all of this, Jim remained heartbreakingly quiet till he dropped a freestyle titled "No More Puppets" on SoundCloud. There was no beat, just his voice, raw, emotional, and cracking with pain. He didn't name names, but the lyrics painted the picture: betrayal, manipulation, and love that turned into humiliation. Harlem felt it. Fans played the track like a morning chant, rolling through the city with speakers booming, like they were grieving the death of something bigger than just a relationships, something spiritual. But the internet doesn't mourn forever. After heartbreak comes exposure. After tears come subpoenas. Homeland Security reportedly started investigating the fake charity Cam and Chrissy promoted during the pregnancy. It turns out, the so-called foundation didn't help single mothers at all. It served as a cover for rerouted brand checks, money disguised as donations that circled right back to them through shell corporations. Now whispers of wire fraud and money laundering circled overhead, and Harlem. Harlem watched in silence, not because it didn't care but because it knew what came next would be even messier. And trust this. If there's one thing Harlem understands, it's this: nothing stays buried forever. Not fake bumps. Not dirty money. And definitely not betrayal. Part 2 is loading, and what's next might turn this reality TV scam into a federal indictment with receipts to reel to spin. As Jim tried to calm the storm with a prayer hands emoji on Instagram, more leaks dropped. This time, from Chrissy's cousin's stolen iCloud. The files included private voice notes, burner phone recordings, and even a sketchy PR contract promising a viral pregnancy campaign. Meanwhile, Cam went ghost. No cryptic raps. No live streams. Not even a shady tweet. That's silence. That was Harlem's confirmation. He was either guilty or cooking up his next move. Chrissy, on the other hand, could not hide. Paparazzi caught her leaving a nail salon, no baby bump, no ring, and no plan for how to spin this train wreck into another check. And then came the real crash. Sponsors ran. The vitamin brand pulled their deal. The maternity photo studio threatened to sue. The scam had officially backfired. One brand did not hold back. They tweeted, "We do not support fake pregnancies. All collaborations have been immediately terminated." And just like that, the internet collapsed all over again. Now take a moment. Breathe, because if you think the drama ended with hotel room slip-ups and sketchy medical invoices, you are sorely mistaken. This fake baby fiasco was not just a clout-chasing move. It was the explosive moment that shattered Harlem's last fairy tale couple, tore Dipset loyalty apart, and set off a chain reaction that triggered a full-blown federal audit. And just when people thought the gossip cycle might cool down, think again. What came next did not just scorch Chrissy and Cam, it pulled their old friends, allies, and enemies right back into a spotlight they thought they had left behind. This is only the beginning. Part 2 of this wild saga is about to dig even deeper. By the time it is over, you will wish this was just another trashy reality show storyline. But no, it is much worse. If you thought the barbershop whispers and meme-stuffed timelines were enough to bury this scam, welcome to Harlem, the real Harlem, where skeletons do not stay hidden, and every secret has a price. The next set of receipts did not just drag Chrissy and Cam, it opened Pandora's box. The same intern who leaked the hotel room evidence and fake pregnancy files was not done yet. 2 days after #ChryssyFakeBump took over the trending charts, the whistleblower dropped a new file onto a shady message board. The file name, Mommy, Empire PR Plan _final.inside. A digital gold mini-mails, WhatsApp conversations, and PR pitch decks showing how Chrissy, Cam, and 2 sketchy publicists built an entire 6-month plan around a fake pregnancy. Each phase of the hoax was mapped out in detail. Phase 1. Announce the pregnancy. Phase 2. Leak a fake ultrasound. Phase 3. Stage a paparazzi bump sighting. Phase 4. Lock in brand deals. Phase 5. Fake a miscarriage to stir sympathy and set up a reunion story arclet that sink in. Not only did they invent a pregnancy, they plotted out heartbreak for headlines, all to keep the public watching and networks calling. When Harlem saw that miscarriage bullet point, the internet tore itself in two. One half wanted Chrissy blacklisted from every network that ever gave her a check. The other half blamed Cam, calling him the puppet master who pushed Chrissy to sell her dignity for crumbs of fame. Jim Jones, Harlem's self-proclaimed last loyal king, snapped, "No more prayer hands, no more vague spiritual quotes." He went live from a dimly lit studio, hoodie half off, voice cracking with pain. Over 200,000 people watched as he shouted into the phone, "You ever love someone so deep, you let them ruin you twice?" Y'all laughing, but I was playing daddy to a lie. They planned it all behind my back. Fans flooded the chat with messages of support. "Stay strong. King Cam's gotta pay. You deserved better." As Jim poured out his heartbreak in real time, TikTok editors stitched crying clips with old Dipset footage, creating viral loops that mixed nostalgia with pure embarrassment. But Harlem never stops at heartbreak. It turns pain into crime stories. When money gets messy, because that leaked PR file, it came with something much hotter: partial bank records. We are talking Zelle transfers hidden under fake catering business names, PayPal payments labeled prenatal wellness consulting, and wire transfers of $2,500 linked to an LLC called Harlem's Events. To the FBI and IRS. That was not just gossip. That was a blinking red arrow pointing straight to financial fraud. By sunrise, The streets were buzzing. Federal agents wanted answers, and the word on the block. Homeland Security had already knocked on someone's door. At 5 a.m., federal agents reportedly showed up at one of Cam's old studios in Queens, digging for backup drives. A gossip blogger even posted a blurry shot of a black SUV parked outside Chrissy's cousin's apartment, claiming the feds were grilling her about hush money records. Meanwhile, the streets were on fire. Whispers of RICO charges and racketeering started flying. And Cam. Silent. No Instagram bars, no cryptic tweets, no freestyle clapbacks, just pure radio silence. And for someone like Cam, silence is louder than any diss track. Harlem folks know when Cam goes quiet, he's not hiding, he's planning something deadly. Chrissy, though she was left to fend for herself, the once revered queen of reality TV, was crumbling in public. Paparazzi caught her twice in 2 days, once sneaking into a law office wearing sunglasses too big for her pride, and again crying behind the wheel of a borrowed Escalade outside a maternity shop she allegedly duped for fake baby gear. Sponsors, they wasted no time. The vitamin brand cut ties. A luxury baby clothing label she teased on Instagram ghosted her with a brutal pinned comment, "We only dress real miracles." Wishing Miss Lampkin time for healing. And the Harlem aunties. Oh, they had a field day. Beauty salons buzzed with "I told you so" energy. One auntie snapped, "I knew she was trouble when she made Jimmy tattoo her lips instead of getting a ring." Classic Harlem shade. Petty, sharp, and accurate, but here's the twist nobody saw coming. While Harlem's PR disaster burned hotter by the hour, a new name crept out of the shadows. Reggie, the so-called money puppet master. Anonymous Reddit posts claimed he was the one who tipped off the intern who blew the whole thing open. Back in the mid-2010s, Reggie allegedly managed Cam's tour bookings until Cam cut ties after accusing him of skimming from club profits. And Reggie, he never let that grudge go. So when he heard Cam was cashing in on hush money from a fake baby scam, all while still owing him back pay, he snapped. He became the ultimate whistleblower. Reggie leaked screenshots. He passed voice memos to bloggers. He even sold one clip to a podcast for thousands. In it, Cam can allegedly be heard barking, "Tell Chrissy to keep crying, tears move product. We make more when they think she's miserable." The moment that voice hit social media, jaws dropped from Harlem to Brooklyn. Even Mona Scott Young, the queen of spinning scandal into ratings, issued a dry statement. "Miss Lampkin is not currently contracted with any of our productions." Translation: even we cannot clean this mess up. As Reggie's receipts bounced from site to site, brands ran for cover. Cam lost to mid-tier liquor deals overnight. His name was removed from a rumored Dipset reunion tour. One promoter even leaked texts of Cam begging for a $50,000 advance, claiming the storm would blow over. Spoiler alert, it did not. Then came the most brutal leak yet. A screenshot from a group chat, dropped by Reggie himself, showed Cam, Chrissy, and their PR fixer plotting how much to pay gossip blogs to bury any negative coverage if the fake baby lie caught fire. One line stood out: "Make sure Jim don't find out till the bag clears." But Jim did find out, and so did the rest of the world. Dipset's one solid brotherhood, gone. Torn apart by lies, broken deals, shredded contracts, and betrayal. And with whistleblowers talking and money trails exposed, this was no longer just about social media drama. A federal tax investigation was rumored to be in full swing, with both Cam and Chrissy facing questions about where those hush funds went and whether any of it was reported legally. And Jim, still hurting, still healing. But Harlem's last loyal king is reportedly back in the studio. Rumor says his upcoming diss album, Faked and Betrayed, is almost ready to drop. Some raw snippets already leaked. Pure fire. No features, just Jim venting his pain and fury, calling out Cam, Chrissy, and every fake baby belly from New York to Miami. Think it ends there? Not even close. The same shadowy puppet master circle claims another brutal twist is locked and loaded. And trust, Harlem's messiest saga is far from over. Tucked away in a lawyer's safe sat the final blow, a hush agreement signed by both Cam and Chrissy. It detailed exactly how the fake baby money was divided behind Jim's back and how the payouts were washed through bogus charity donations. If this file ever reached the public, it would not just destroy what was left of Dipset's legacy, it could drag a few major sponsors into the fire too. Homeland Security was already circling, and the streets, they were starving for this last piece of the puzzle. Part 3. Oh, it was on the way. And when it landed, it would be the dagger Harlem had been waiting for. Because once that hush file dropped, even the rats hiding in alleyways would feel sorry for Jim Jones. So here we are. If you've made it this far without dropping your imaginary pearls, get ready. The next chapter does more than close a scandal. It drags every last Harlem secret into the daylight. The kind of dirt so raw, even the oldest OGs were ducking cameras. Remember, that so-called smoking gun, Reggie teased. For weeks, people said only 2 copies existed, one with Reggie, the other with a sketchy entertainment lawyer who used to quietly manage Cam's side deals back when his tax issues made the headlines. But Harlem forgot one rule. Secrets do not stay buried when loyalty is up for sale. A week after Jim's emotional livestream and just 2 days after the group chat leak, the hush file appeared online. No flashy article, no podcast exclusive. Just a single anonymous Google Drive link spammed across the comments of every post that mentioned Cam, Chrissy, or fake baby drama. Within an hour, the file exploded. Inside was chaos: a digital folder, packed with signed contracts, NDAs, money wire logs, and a blurry PDF stamped final split agreement in bold red letters. It broke everything down. How the fake pregnancy profits were split between Chrissy, Cam, a questionable OBGYN, and the PR fixer who pitched the story to sponsors. One stomach-turning line burned across the screen. Jim, not to be informed, until all sponsor payments have cleared. Harlem lost it. TikTok detectives recorded every page. Twitter lit up with real-time breakdowns. Memes flooded the timeline. Old clips of Jim kissing Chrissy's belly, now edited with clown faces and crying. The world laughed, then gasped, then forwarded it to every messy group chat they had. It spread like wildfire. No lawyer could contain it. And just when you thought it could not get worse, Mama Jones, Jim's mother and Harlem's unofficial queen of tell it stepped in with gasoline. A blogger caught her outside her favorite hair salon, mid-rant, raw and unfiltered. She said Chrissy had always been poison, that she begged Jim to open his eyes. Now, she said, her son was stuck with heartbreak, public shame, and legal bills. So high, not even Cam could talk his way out. Sponsors dropped Chrissy instantly. Vitamin partnerships gone. Maternity photo shoots cancelled. One designer boutique even threatened legal action, accusing Chrissy of damaging their brand by tying them to a fake pregnancy scam. It was a complete collapse dollar by dollar, and Cam, he did not hide. He did not post a Notes app apology or cry behind sunglasses. He did what only Cam could do: jumped on Instagram Live, hoodie halfway off, chain bouncing, red cup in hand, and 50,000 people watching. With a smirk, he said, "Loyalty's dead and I'm the only one real enough to admit I killed it." The comments filled with clown and snake emojis, but half the viewers still clapped. Because Harlem loves a villain who says what everyone else is scared to whisper. Jim did not respond with another like. Instead, he did what he has always done best: he went to the studio. 3 days later, a raw freestyle appeared on SoundCloud, titled "No More Puppets." No beat. Just pain. Just Jim telling his truth through gritted teeth, one bar at a time. Jim's voice broke as he delivered every painful line: betrayal, fake loyalty, and a brotherhood that died in silence. His freestyle played like a funeral anthem for what Dipset used to stand for. Harlem felt it. Cars rolled through every block with his track blaring like a eulogy, but the internet didn't grieve for long. After the heartbreak and memes came something colder: the feds. Word quickly spread that Homeland Security had flagged questionable money movements linked to the Momiers Foundation, the fake charity Cam and Chrissy propped up during the baby bump storyline. Turns out, the foundation never helped struggling moms. It was a front. Brand payments were rerouted back to them using shell companies and bogus invoices. This was no longer influencer drama. This was federal wire fraud. Barbershop jokes got darker. Dipset's next reunion won't be on VH1, it'll be at the courthouse. Everyone laughed, but deep down, the laughter masked real heartbreak. This went beyond fake sonograms and Instagram lies. Harlem was watching its last symbol of loyalty collapse in slow motion. And just when the internet thought it had seen every leak, the mess got messier. A name from the past resurfaced: Lil Moo, the old Dipset runner. The same guy who used to haul Cam's bags during the flip phone era. He popped up in a grainy YouTube interview claiming he had old backup drives with audio files of Cam and Chrissy, laughing about cashing baby bump checks while Jim was in the next room, dreaming of a future with his forever queen. Moo dropped cryptic tweets. teasing he might sell the files to the highest bidder or worse, hand them to Homeland Security if his pockets ran dry. It was not an empty threat. It was Harlem's final punchline. Even the background characters had receipts now. Mona Scott Young. Silent. No interviews. No statements. No shady reunion episodes. Just whispers that she was tucked away overseas, paying her crisis PR team triple to keep her name clear. Not even the queen of manufactured reality could spin this disaster into a marketable storyline, and the fans. Some stayed loyal to Jim, clinging to his freestyle like every bar could patch the wounds left behind. Some still backed Cam, calling him Harlem's realest snake, cold-blooded but unapologetically honest. Others just walked away, deleting Dipset logos from their profiles and shaking their heads as each new headline dropped. To them, the truth was plain. Real loyalty ended the moment the first hush payment cleared. Lawyers began circling. Cease and desist letters landed in inboxes. Federal agents, now watching closely, were whispering about a grand jury just in case more fake charity payments surfaced. Meanwhile, Reggie the puppet master who lit the match vanished back into the shadows, probably counting the hush money he once claimed to despise. Then came Jim's final post, a black square. No photo, no hashtags, just 3 words in small white text: "Loyalty ain't real." The comments poured in, some comforting, others mocking him for not seeing the betrayal sooner. But the point hit the same for everyone. The dream was dead. Dipset wasn't brotherhood, it was branding. A staged performance that cracked the moment the lights dimmed. Now people are whispering Cam might still have more secrets. And there's talk of an unreleased mixtape that tells his side of the story. Chrissy's lawyer is allegedly pressuring brands to quietly settle before more damage unfolds. And Lil Moo, he might just flip that hard drive for his own shot at fame. But one thing is certain, Harlem will never forget. The baby bump that never was the lie that turned legends into cautionary tales. This was never about a child. It was about greed, ego, and a truth so ugly it got carved into Harlem's pavement for generations to see. So pour one out for the fairy tale that went up in flames. Because when that final voicemail leaks, this graveyard of secrets will spit out one more Bodie, and Harlem will be watching. Front row, one last time. There you have it. Family, every dirty secret, every fake tear, every backdoor deal they thought would stay hidden. Cam and Chrissy did not just fake a baby, they hijacked an entire legacy. They turned loyalty into dollar signs and insulted every single fan who ever chanted Dipset for life from their soul. But here is the truth, Harlem already knows. We never forget, and you were right here when the truth exploded, when the final masks slipped and all the lies hit the floor. So now I need to know, whose side are you really on? Was Cam the villain Harlem needed to wake up, or the traitor Harlem should have buried long ago? Did Chrissy mastermind this chaos, or was she just playing a part, Cam's puppet with lashes and a storyline? And Jim, was he truly clueless? Or just too loyal for a city that chews up loyalty and spits it out? Drop your raw theories in the comments. Debate, defend, roast. I'm reading every single one, because trust me, this is not over. Part 2 is loaded and ready to drop the second Lil Moo hits play on that last voicemail. So hit that like if you think Cam's next move will be even more ruthless. Smash that follow so you don't miss the day Jim walks into court with a mic instead of a lawyer. And send this to that one cousin who still thinks Dipset is untouchable. Let them know that loyalty costs more than a fur coat and a fake sonogram. Stay sharp, stay locked in, and never forget, in Harlem, no secret stays hidden, no snake stays quiet, and I'll always be right here, pulling receipts out of the dark and laying them bare. Until the next expose, keep your burner phones charged.